My girlfriend, 29F, of 6 months, said she only dates one person at a time now. I, 28M, find she had a friend with benefit till we slept together. As I fall on the demi-scale of sexuality, so I only date one person at a time, and if we have a chemistry then I ask for exclusivity on the 3/4 date. But when I met my current GF through an app, I was surprised when she said that she also only dates one person at a time. We got on well and decided to meet for further dates. Eventually we started discussing sex, and she said she likes to take some time before sleeping together with potential partners. I was more than okay with it. Anyways, we met for on an average 2 dates a week. It must have been around the 2 months mark before we slept together for the first time. And we found out that we not only share an amazing emotional connection, our physical connection also rocks. Maybe because of the emotional connection. It's been 6 months since we started dating, and honestly, it's been amazing except for one issue. Outside of this issue, we get on like a house on fire. Our political, social, future goals are almost similar, and the compatibility is off the charts. Anyways, now for the one issue. Last week, when I came to her place, I brought a change of clothes with me, and I was awarded a shelf in her cupboard. When I went to keep my clothes in there, I found an old novel there with the name Aaron, fake name, signed on the first page. So naturally, I asked her about the novel, and she was a little surprised, but to her credit, she told me it belonged to her FWB. Okay, hurtful, but everyone has a past. Then I noticed the date below the name, and it didn't make sense as the date was when she and I were already dating for more than 1 month. But maybe she borrowed it from him. So I asked about the date, and then she said, yeah, he brought the book the last time he came here. To say I was shocked would be an understatement. I again asked her, well, why would your FWB come with his book here after we were dating, and how much time did he spend here that he left the book? It was at that moment we both realized that the answer would not make sense. I asked her that you said you date only one person at a time. She said, well, he was an FWB. Then I asked, did she sleep with him after we had slept together? She swore no. She had not talked to him 2 weeks prior to we had slept together. But I left there after this conversation, even thought the plan was for me to spend the weekend. After that we have had a few sporadic conversations, but we have not discussed the elephant in the room. We decided that we will talk face to face here. Update. So I called her and told her that it's not going to work. Our morals just don't align. I read a lot of comments which said she was cheating, a lot which said she was not cheating. Some said my way of dating one person at a time is wrong. Some said I'm jealous and insecure, and other point of views. But it's not a court of law. A case doesn't have to be proven. Beyond doubt here, I am demisexual and she sees sex as a fun activity. The two of us were never going to work out. And while it does suck as we really had a great connection, I think it's better this way. She can find someone she feels safe with, and hopefully I can also find someone I feel safe with. So thank you guys, it was very helpful. Story 2. How do I bring up my concerns? Do you and your partner think masturbation is disrespectful? My 22F boyfriend, 29M, have been dating for just under 3 years. We disagree on a few things when it comes to what is respectful. And TMI, but one of those things being masturbation. I think it's a healthy thing to do every once in a while, and it's a stress reliever after a full-time class load and working full-time. He disagrees and thinks it's disrespectful and makes him feel like he's not good enough, which isn't true. We have a great sex life. There are just days when I'm stressed out or pulled all-nighters and need to get an afternoon nap. It's a nice stress reliever. Well, I never knew how he'd always know when I did it. But sure enough, every day I would have done it, he knew. He always just said he knew those things. Today, while getting dressed for class, I saw one of our house cameras in the bedroom, facing the bed tucked back on a lower shelf on my desk. It's never been there before. The camera originally used to be in the bedroom window, facing out to be able to watch the dogs when they were on the patio and security for if anyone tried to come in that way. About a week ago, I was cleaning the area and the camera fell off the window, and I just set it back up, but didn't realize it was completely disconnected from the cord until I checked the app and just never fixed it. I checked the app today after seeing it, and the camera is working and facing the bed. I text him in a joking tone and say, anything you want to tell me about the bedroom camera. He said it's not plugged in, so I said MHHMM lol, and he said he hadn't touched the camera. Then I explained I haven't touched the camera or set it up since it fell with the dogs, and he texted back, I picked it up but that's it. I wasn't really concerned with it until he lied. I do feel there's a privacy issue and want to discuss how I know he's lying without flat out saying you're lying. because I know he is. I went on the feedback loop, and it was set up Wednesday this week when he got home early from work before me. I feel like he did it to see if I was masturbate, since it's almost a daily question if I did it. I can't tell if he's serious or not when he asks anymore. I feel so dirty at this point, and that stuff is private. I don't do it excessively, and it doesn't interrupt our sex life. I just feel weird having that part of my life monitored or joked about. But when we get on the topic of masturbation, he gets upset, and I also know if I tell him I know he's lying, it will make him upset. It's not like I tell him I did it or even bring it up. He brings it up and then says, I know you did it, even if I hadn't. I just want to have a healthy conversation about a sensitive topic we don't see eye to eye on. Have you and your partner had this discussion, and how do you feel about it? Do you see as disrespectful? TDLR, I think my boyfriend moved one of our home security camera to face inside our bedroom to see if I masturbate. I thought it was funny at first until he lied about doing it. How do I discuss this with him, and how do you feel about your partner masturbating in a relationship? Story 3. Trying to convince boyfriend, M47, that I have 4 to 5, needs security in the future. Cultural differences causing conflict. I'm obviously so close to this situation that I'm having trouble seeing the situation objectively. Outside opinions much appreciated. I'll try to be brief as possible, and apologies. It's boring! Boyfriend and I have been together 7 years, due to marry next year. I'm English, and he is Italian. We live in his village in Italy. He works full-time in a stable long-term job. I look after holiday homes and foreigners' houses here, and my work is sporadic, especially with COVID. I could work every day for weeks or not at all for a month. I contribute financially where possible and do everything at home. When we became serious, he was still living at his family home, so when we decided to live together, he bought a house, rather than waste money on renting. Only he is named on the mortgage, and therefore the house is only in his name. I have no issue with that whatsoever. In Italy, when a couple marry, they have to decide what type of legal marriage. The two choices being everything is shared or everything is separate, family property, etc. Most couples now choose separate, and we will choose this type also. I also have no issue with this, but it means that the house where we live will never be mine, even in part, in the event that he should pass away, although I will have the right to live here undisturbed for a certain amount of time. He has always promised me that his brother/family would never kick me out, and that he will ask them to allow me to live in the house as long as I wish. This won't be legally binding though, and I'll be reliant on their goodwill. He has also already stated that he would never leave the house to me, as that would be taking it away from his brother. This is where we start to disagree slightly, in that I feel somewhat hurt that he seems more concerned with his brother's security than mine, and where the cultural differences come into play. Inheritance laws here are different to the UK in that there are fixed rights of inheritance to children, family members, and wills are not commonly used. My boyfriend and his brother will inherit several properties and pieces of land. My dilemma now is that I have come into a few €1,000 and I would like to do something with it to at least ensure a roof over my head, regardless of what happens in the future. A very small house is for sale near us that we could possibly buy for around €15,000. I don't have enough to buy it outright, but could contribute at least $5,000 in this moment. My boyfriend would need to help with the rest until I can pay him back, and this small house would be in both names, and I would request that the house is left entirely to me in the event of my boyfriend's death. His brother could then do whatever he wishes with the house we're in now. There is both long-term and holiday rental potential with this house, and it only needs very minor work doing. Boyfriend is completely against this house purchase, believing it to be a waste of money and that his family would never ask me to leave here. His reluctance to discuss death and the future is not helping, and I feel slightly vulnerable in my future prospects here. Outsider opinions much appreciated. TDLR, want to buy a small house to protect my future security. Boyfriend completely against the idea.